what was life like? I mean, you lived both lives really as just having a normal dad, and then having a pastor as a dad.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't happen very often. Usually, kids grow up, their dad's the pastor all the time, or not. You know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that have that shift in the middle of their life. What was that like? How did it affect you? Did it change things? You know.
In a way, I think I come back to this verse that I've been thinking about a lot, about for an overseer, for someone involved in ministry that way, it really makes a point that the way you do things at home, that's the way you're gonna do things when you have more in charge, right?
Right.
So in a way, it didn't feel too different, because it was just my dad being my dad to me, you know?
Yeah.
And that comes with its challenge, right? Because at what point it's my dad, and at what point it's the pastor, and we kind of had to figure that out, and we still talk about it. Like, sometimes he says, like, I'm saying this as a pastor. But to me, I just can't. Whenever he does or says anything, it's my dad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't take that away. Sometimes it calls for, like, something in our relationship to the way we relate to each other. But, just the biggest change, I guess. I'd have to talk more from a personal, view.
Yeah.
Because our relationship was always the same way, you know, not a big change.
Yeah.
But for me, I think there was some challenges that I didn't know how to handle, because now my dad's the pastor, you know?
Yeah.
Previously, you know, and I think being in the middle, I was just 15.
Right.
You do a lot of stupid things, right, at that age? That was only me. Or was that only me?
No. Not only you.
So
I concur.
Yeah, I think I was like, I guess I thought something needs to change, or something has changed, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's just your dad's the pastor, and
Were there any changes as the church grew? I mean, obviously it started as a Bible study, that the main pastor in Merida had asked him to start, and then grew. I think before they moved, or you were with them as they moved. You guys were probably at 900 people or so. You know.
Yeah.
I remember
Less,
you said
a
like
little
3
less.
services of around 200 or 300.
Yeah.
So you're getting close to 900. You know?
Yeah.
Was there any difference then, as things got bigger and more busy, perhaps?
I remember just the craziness about 3 services.
Yeah.
Anyone who was involved in anything, I don't know of a ministry that had enough people to rotate between the 3 services. So you at least had to do 2, or
right.
I think most people had to serve at 3 services.
Right.
I just remember the craziness about that.
Of course, you were coming into your teenage years as well, so I don't know. For you, was it like, hey, this is cool, there's a bunch of other young people to hang out with?
It was cool. It's always cool to see a place full of life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's full of a ton of people, conversations, fun, action, you know? But maybe it's weird to say it, that I enjoyed that, and at the same time, I didn't like that too much, because in a sense, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, very easily became a routine,
Mm.
because it's like one after another, and then at some point you're like
Mm-hmm.
not even there, because you see the value of it,
Yeah.
but because it can easily become like, this is how I spend my time, and it's just something that I do, but
Yeah.
you don't see the value of gathering at church, like,
Right.
you know.
Becomes more business almost.
It can. I don't think it's bad or wrong to,
Right.
but it that's one challenge of growing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Where does it stop? Or
And me, just
Yeah.
speaking for myself, not anyone else at church, it became like that
mm-hmm.
at 15 or I don't know, I don't know, 18.
You're
I
probably
don't know.
yeah,
It was
18,
like-
19, 20 by the time
Yeah,
it was growing
yeah.
pretty well.
That's what surprised everyone, how fast it grew.
Mm. Wow.
My dad only wanted to do Bible study.
Yeah, that's right, because yeah, I met you when you were what, 21, 20?
Yeah.
So that would have been only 4 or 5 years later,
Yeah.
you know, maybe 6 years later,
Yeah.
and it was already kind of a booming place, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can affect people, and I think that's encouraged me. Maybe one of these days I'll get your dad on here and we'll chat about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You need to ask him. You
I know we've talked about it, but like it'd be cool to get into some of those more
What
detailed
was
questions.
that like?
You know, his perspective on those things.
That's one thing about all that craziness.
Yeah,
I'd enjoy listening
to
to him speak about it, because it was so busy. I think I never sat down and
found out.
we were just, at least me, was just living it. You know,
Yeah.
you weren't thinking about what's going on.
Yeah,
Now, like, it's cool to talk about it a
Yeah.
little bit, but
People
I would
show up.
I would enjoy listening to him. Like,
yeah.
what were you thinking? Like, it'd probably say something around that too. Like, we didn't know what was going on.
People show up, you're not going to turn them away.
We're
You're
just
gonna
teaching the Bible, you
keep
know.
teaching the Bible.
Yeah.
Did his teaching style change at all?
I don't think so ever. He's always
Just kinda
done
like
it the same. Yeah, just teaching through it.
When he did 3 services, did he? I mean, because he doesn't have that topical style. You know, he just walks through a text.
Yeah.
Did he
Very rarely does he do something.
teach the same thing usually 3 times in a row, or was it almost like another Bible study?
He's very structured.
Uh-huh.
There's different styles, but I would say he leans more towards, and I like that. It's very clear because he follows something,
Mm-hmm.
and that made it similar enough, the 3 services.
Uh-huh.
But he would always say, like, he would always point out at the end, like, I said that differently. Did you catch that? or he's like, it's different jokes. It's the same study, but it's different jokes. So you need to come to 3 services.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. How I don't know. Are there any other details of, like, sometimes it's interesting to hear how someone that grows up with a pastor, what life was like. But I do want to say, like, even what you've said so far, there's a great testimony of a lack of hypocrisy. You know, when you can say that your dad wasn't a different person all of a sudden when he became a pastor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's always true. There's a stage person a lot of times.
Mhm.
Maybe just teaching through the Bible helps that a lot. You don't have to put on a show and
Yeah.
come up with themes and exciting moments.
You don't need to add value.
Yeah.
With your personality,
The
right?
value's in the text. It's not in how you say it or
Yeah.
whatever else. So that's cool.
You just need to be faithful. the value is there.
Yeah.
But if you don't see the word at that, what it is, then you have to do gimmicks.
Gimmicks. There's a word Pastor Chuck used to like a lot. He's talked about the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Now.